welcome to Something Witchy, a Sabrina the Teenage Witch rewatch podcast. I'm Laura Cotter.
And I'm Sky Orchard.
And we are on season 2 finale. We made it.
Crazy.
Only took a little over a year. Well, like a year and a half.
You're making it sound like we spent a year and a half on season 2. We didn't do that,
sorry.
right?
No. It took us a year and a half from when we started.
Okay, I was panicking. I've lost time.
From when we finished season 1 in like March? April?
May, June, July.
I think March.
As long as I'm not losing time.
I mean, we all are. But we're here. We're at the end. We'll talk about it more, but we will do another season recap with our friend Emily. And then we're going to be in the holidays. So I think we will start season 3 in the new year.
Correct.
Sky and I actually utilized our Google Calendar for the first time in the year and a half that we've been doing this and actually put on like recording dates and when things get published so we can actually plan things out ahead of time.
We're going to have a backlog again, manifesting it. So if life happens, we have an episode to still give y'all.
What are the odds on us actually sticking to the very ambitious schedule that we've set ourselves?
We'll have to keep it for this next bit through January and then through July and August. We can be a little lax between those two.
Okay. For those of you who have been here since September of 2024, thanks for sticking with us. Those of you who just joined us today, welcome, and hopefully we don't scare you off.
Oh, yeah. That's always
Imagine
a
if
good
this
hope.
is somebody's first episode listening to us.
I mean, we've had weirder episodes they could start with.
That's true.
It could be 10 minutes about my head trauma like last week.
That episode was so long. I saw it come up on Spotify. It was like 40 minutes. What did we talk about?
My head for a fourth of it. So.
I apologize to everybody. And hopefully you utilized the skip button if you didn't care about it.
I don't care about my brain. It's fine.
It's looking good today.
It is. Just a
Looking
tiny
pretty
bump.
healed. Nice. I was at my sister's tonight for family dinner, and my niece, who's 2, we were getting her ready for bed. And when I was going to leave, my sister's like, say goodbye to Auntie. She needs to go do her podcast. And my niece said, pottycast?
Oh.
And that's what we're going to call it now. And I think that's our intro chit chat.
Wow.
All right, our question of the week is, because Harvey is trying to come up with something to give his mom for Mother's Day, what is a memorable, for good or bad reasons, gift that you've given to your mother over the years?
I got my mom to watch some of Doctor Who. I don't know if she ever got to like the Matt Smith era. I think she just got through Tennant. But she really liked the adipose. You've seen Doctor
Yeah,
Who,
the
right?
little dudes.
The little fat clubby babies.
Yeah.
She really liked them. And so I managed to find a squishy, like
Aw.
life-size little adipose.
Aw.
I wonder if she still has it. Mother, as you're listening, let me know.
Because if you have it, we're going to need a picture of it for social media.
It's true. Also, it needs a good squish, probably. Probably hasn't been squished in a moment.
I like that. That's nice. Mine's going to be a little bit more angry,
Okay.
as it is. Did you in elementary school have those little like pop-up boutiques of really cheap stuff that you could go in and buy around Christmas time?
I cannot remember that far back.
You don't remember much of your childhood. That's right. Because the TED trauma. Okay.
Head trauma.
that we talked about at length last episode. So yeah, my school, like every, like, I think it was usually around Christmas time, there'd be a little store they would open and there'd be really cheap little trinkety gifts in there that you could buy. And so I went in and like found gifts for all of my family members. And for my mom, I bought her these earrings, and they're really long, dangly earrings that had a black vintage rotary phone on them. Because my mom loves to talk on the phone. And that was her defining characteristic as a child, was mom's always on the phone. So I got her telephone earrings. So I'm like, who wouldn't want the thing they love most in a dangly earring form? Well, I was so proud, and I gave them to her. She was very appreciative of them. She like oohed and awed over them. That woman has never worn them.
Rude. Does she still have them?
She claims she still has them. I am going to go search in her jewelry box this week and see if I can find them and take a picture of them and maybe make her wear them for a picture. She has been informed that she is getting buried in them. If she won't wear them in this life, she is going to wear them for eternity in the next.
Oh, wow. Savage.
That was my favorite mom gift. My mom is hard to shop for. I remember like she used to tell me to get her socks, or she asked for a broom one Mother's Day. And I'm like, those are terrible gifts, but that's what she wants.
I feel like it's just getting older. Like, I feel like I'm also to the point where it's like, well, I don't really need anything.
I know.
Like, I have the things I need, or I purchase the things I need.
The things I want are all more expensive, and I feel weird asking for them.
Started mid this year and going forward in life into this new year with just sort of the mindset of, I don't want more stuff. I want more experiences. So like deciding to go on trips or concerts sporadically and whatnot, just live instead of accumulate.
Yeah, that's why I now get my mom tickets to the Utah gymnastics team. That is always her Mother's Day present. And then for Christmas, she always, because they have at least one, sometimes two other meets that you have to pay separate for that aren't included in season tickets. And so I'll get her those. And then her birthday is usually either regionals or our conference championship, because those are usually held here. So, and then my dad always gets symphony tickets. That's his experience. I think Lisa and I got we'll buy new kids tickets or something like that, or concert tickets for birthdays and or Christmas. So I definitely agree with the do things. I just feel so sad when I ask for bath towels for my birthday.
I know. I really need new pots and pans. And it's like, do I really want to ask for this? Do I just go get my own pots and pans?
I've never had to ask for pots and pans because I always get Lisa's hand-me-downs.
Nice.
All right, let's get into this last episode of the season. Season 2, episode 26, which is a wild number of episodes, even back then, I think.
Yeah, Buffy only went as far as 22 episodes in its longest season.
Like 22 to 24 was average. 26 is long. So season 2, episode 26, Mom versus Magic. Our TV guide description. Sabrina's plan to balance seeing both Harvey and Dashiell is disrupted when they meet each other by chance. They ask her to choose between them, while a hasty act leads her to being forced to make an even bigger decision. The streaming description is, Sabrina faces the most difficult decision of her life when she must choose between her mom and her magic. Do you have a favorite?
Probably the streaming.
I kind of like the TV guide description. I feel like the streaming just gives it away.
I mean, in a way, TV guide description gives at least half of the episode, because you don't even get to the mom part till like 2/3 of the way through. So,
but the mom part's the more important part, because she doesn't solve the Dashiell versus Harvey thing in this episode.
But that's what gives you the conflict that's going to go into season 3. So.
This episode originally aired May 15th, 1998. Linda Day is returning as our director, and Sheldon Bull is returning as our writer. We have a few guest stars. Donald Faison is back as Dashiell. Pamela Blair is Sabrina's mom. She does not return in this role. She is also in things like Annie, Mighty Aphrodite, Law and Order, Another World, and The Cosby Show. Louise Sorel is Mrs. Saberhagen. She was in a lot of soap operas, including Days of Our Lives, Passions, and 497 episodes of Santa Barbara. Frankie Avina is the Peruvian indigenous person. Technically, it says Peruvian Indian. He was also in Kindergarten Cop, Walker, Texas Ranger, and Almost Heroes. And lastly, we have Emily Hart, aka Amanda, as an uncredited young Sabrina. A little fact, this episode was actually aired out of production order. So Sabrina's Choice may have actually been intended as the season finale rather than this one.
I don't think it would have worked as the finale unless they did like a rewrite.
I don't think so either. This one had to be the finale. What were your overall thoughts on this one, Sky?
I liked it. There is some ant in continuity once again. That was fun. Liked Salem's storyline. Hilda and Zola's take it or leave it there. And I'm glad we're finally defining whether Harvey and Sabrina are together or not.
We get more Dashiell, which I always enjoy. I like that it was like it had a little bit more of a serious note to it with the decision Sabrina had to make.
There's some stakes, like I said, going into season 3.
Yeah, for sure. I am getting a little tired of here's this thing and this decision and this thing is going to affect the rest of your life. And it's like, haha, just kidding. I'm like, that's getting a little bit old.
But isn't that like the teenage experience of like everything is so life or death because you think your life's going to be ruined if you do X, Y, or Z?
Yeah, but teens can do that themselves. They don't need a quiz master creating those scenarios for them.
Just add some extra spice to Sabrina's life.
Okay, let's get into our episode. In the cold open, Salem is on the phone, then hangs up and yells, "No!" Sabrina asks, "What's the problem?"
Ringworm got you down?
And Salem says his mother is coming for a visit. Sabrina tells him he should be happy. She hasn't seen her mother since she became a witch. It then comes out that Salem's mom doesn't know he's a cat. There's been a couple other people that don't, like Salem's old girlfriend didn't know he was a cat. They do have news because they have the chicken anchor. I would think that this would be a fairly publicized trial that we're taking the witch that tried to take over the world and or is this just like a normal occurrence? Like they have so many people they're turning into cats that they don't even talk about it on the news anymore.
That is a great question. Or do those people just avoid the news because sometimes you have to avoid the news to get by?
They would have had to be avoiding the news for the past 2 decades. If it's anything like our world, there's still going to be like random references to it in pop culture. Like if it was an actual big deal. Wild that his own mother, granted, again, pre-social media days, so I have to remember that. Wild that his own mother hasn't seen him or known what's happened to him. Although I guess if you live as long as I'm talking myself now out of my own anger. As happens on this podcast. I guess if you live for like centuries, going 20 years without seeing your kids is like going a couple of weeks.
And a kid you don't necessarily like as a human.
That's true. I still don't know how she wouldn't be informed, but okay. Salem's mother is also very critical.
I once wore sandals at the dinner table and she sent me to military school. Thus probably starting his journey of thinking about how to conquer the world after, learning about military stuff.
He begs Sabrina to use her magic to send him somewhere. She reluctantly agrees and zaps him to the other side of the kitchen counter. Our outfit intro is a surgeon outfit, and she says, "Watch the show, then call me in the morning." Stat.
That's not a surgeon line.
No, but I think this was at like the height of ER popularity.
I
remember my mom and my sister used to record ER on VHS tape every week.
Yeah, my parents were big into ER.
I mean, who wouldn't be? George Clooney and other people. Oh, Noah Wiley was the other one. Hilda and Zelda are trying to sneak down the stairs past Salem, but he sees them and begs them to send him somewhere, but they refuse.
Tucson, Chattanooga, Moose Jaw, anywhere. So he would like to go to Arizona, Tennessee, or Saskatchewan, Canada, is what comes to his mind as a place to flee.
I would choose Canada out of those three.
Right.
Arizona's way too hot. Tennessee can be pretty, but then you're in the South. Not that we don't love everybody who listens to us in the South. Bless all of your hearts for listening to us. I have been to Nashville. Nashville is nice. Zelda thinks they should go visit their mother, but Hilda doesn't feel like taking a long trip. Zelda says it will take less than a second as the linen closet thunders and Sabrina and Dashiell walk out. Hilda asks about the date, but Zelda shoves towels in her arms and leads her away. Dashiell hopes Sabrina enjoyed the date, time traveling.
Which Sabrina says she's never time traveled before, but didn't she technically time travel in the Salem big TGIF crossover? Lies.
I guess maybe it was a different way of time traveling. My brain can't come up with scenarios to make these things work right now. They go in for a kiss as Hilda watches from around the corner. Sabrina zaps the door that slams in Hilda's face. She and Dashiell kiss and say goodbye. He leaves again through the linen closet, and Zelda walks into the door that Sabrina conjured. At school, Sabrina finds a rose floating in her locker from Dashiell. She quickly grabs it when Harvey walks up, claiming she found it. He asks her to help him buy a Mother's Day present.
Last year, I got her a can opener. I really have to stop taking gift advice from my dad.
That absolutely sounds like something his father would advise.
Never listen to your father about anything, Harvey.
Harvey's father seems like a terrible person. Sabrina gets sad because she misses her mom, but turns the conversation back to Harvey's mom when he asks why she just doesn't go visit her.
I would, but then waiting for the ancient city of Machu Picchu to get an Arby's is her excuse.
Do you think Arby's paid for that line? He gives her a kiss on the cheek and tells her she's the best. He leaves and the rose floats back out of Sabrina's locker. She realizes she has a very big problem. Zelda and Hilda are going to visit their mother, with Hilda whining about it. Hilda says it's because their mom likes Zelda better. On their 8th birthdays, Zelda got an entire observatory, and Hilda got corrective shoes. They then notice that Salem is hiding in the hamper. Zelda lifts him out and tells Hilda that they're going, grabbing her by the arm.
Zelda reminds Salem to tell Sabrina to zap in something healthy for dinner and not just Fluffernutter. Fluffernutter is a sandwich featuring peanut butter and marshmallow and originated in New England in the early 20th century.
Have you ever had a Fluffernutter?
I'm sure I have. I did not know it was named a Fluffernutter, but...
You didn't know it was called a Fluffernutter?
Mm-mm.
Oh, marshmallow fluff and peanut butter.
Well, I get it now that I know what is in it.
Was it good? Oh, you don't remember if you have.
I mean, peanut butter and marshmallow.
It's a lot of sticky. I feel like that bread has to be toasted, though.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want toasted.
It's too much sticky and squishy. You need something solid. You need something with substance. The next sky eating video?
I gotta do the asparagus first. I'm gonna eat it as celebration for finishing the season. I'll finally...
Congratulations, here's some asparagus.
Stop putting off the asparagus and ketchup that I promised so many episodes ago.
Salem admits his mother never loved him even when he was human.
One little hug, and I wouldn't have tried to take over Poland.
Yikes. The bell rings at school, and Dashiell sneaks into Sabrina's class. He left his clone at school to come see her and asks if she'll go out with him, but she's promised a friend she'd go shopping. Why has Sabrina never thought of using her clone to go to classes for her? That's brilliant!
Probably for the best she hasn't.
He tries to convince her to go anyway, but she won't break her promise. He says he likes her and wants to just stare at her all day, but Sabrina spots Harvey down the hall and zaps Dashiell away. Sabrina meets Harvey at her locker to grab her chemistry book, but she finds another rose that she quickly grabs and gives to Harvey. And she never even takes her chemistry book out of her locker, and they just leave. Salem's mom arrives through the linen closet, and he shows her that he's a cat. He says it's because he tried to take over the world, bracing for her criticism.
I eat off the floor and sleep by the dryer, he bemoans, which is all a lie.
He said he slept by paint cans in a basket. Sleeping by the dryer sounds like it'd be a toasty, warm place to sleep.
And we've seen him eating out of his special little cat dishes.
And sleeping on Sabrina's bed.
Not eating off the floor, not sleeping by the dryer.
She's disappointed in him, but he's such a cute kitty and holds him. Sabrina and Harvey arrive back at Sabrina's house after shopping, with Sabrina clearly unhappy. Harvey rejected all of her present ideas. While they're in the front room, Dashiell zaps himself into the kitchen. Harvey apologizes. He just wants this present to be perfect.
Especially since you wrecked her car last week, Sabrina chimes in with.
That's minor detail. Dashiell zaps a giant ice cream sundae with 2 spoons and calls for Sabrina. Harvey and Sabrina hear him, and Sabrina makes the excuse that it's an oven timer because she's baking bread.
An oven timer that calls your name? Maybe my mom would like one.
She shoves Harvey out the door and says maybe they can go shopping tomorrow as Dashiell walks out of the kitchen with the sundae. Harvey wants to ask her one more thing. She replies that whatever the question is, the answer is yes. Harvey is happy that they can go study again. Just then, Dashiell walks out from the dining room into the front room, still calling for Sabrina. Dashiell and Harvey look at each other, asking who the other one is. Sabrina, Dashiell, and Harvey are sitting on the couch with the giant sundae in front of them. Sabrina is explaining who each of them are as both boys look upset. Harvey admits that they did say they weren't going to be exclusive, and Dashiell admits that they also never had that conversation. Sabrina is happy about this, but then both boys tell her to choose. Choose Dashiell, Sabrina. Zelda and Hilda arrive at their mother's house, but she's not home, even though Zelda told her they were coming. Hilda says it's because they both came, not just Zelda. Zelda doesn't believe this and finds the spare key under the mat to let them in. And Hilda says that's just more proof because she told me it was under the pot. Both Dashiell and Harvey keep asking Sabrina if she can choose now. She keeps saying no and shoves them out the door. She shuts the door, but they both come back immediately and ring the bell. She says no again. I loved these two acting together. Dashiell and Harvey are fun.
Yeah, it was a good combo.
Now do I not only hope that Dashiell stays around longer because I think he's a good dating experience for Sabrina, I want to see how him and Harvey interact and develop an uncomfortable friendship with each other because I think that would be so much fun. This was after Donald Faison did Remember the Titans. No, it came out in 2000. Oh, I wonder if because this is May of 98. I wonder if they'll start filming by the end of this year. I'm trying to figure out if it was a scheduling conflict and if that's why he can't stay on longer.
Spoilers.
You know.
I don't. Actually.
Salem's mom is brushing him when Sabrina walks up the stairs. Mrs. Saberhagen is going to make him a nice big fish dinner.
With real fish? Salem asks.
Sabrina yells out her bedroom window for the boys to go home when Salem comes in. And he says mom's making mackerel, but did you just have the caption here where it says mom's making macro?
I didn't notice.
The caption was wrong. Sabrina asks if they can talk. Harvey and Dashiell want her to choose between them, but she can't. Salem isn't paying attention, though, and just talks about how wonderful his mother is.
Salem, do you want to lick the deboning knife? Mrs. Saberhagen calls from the kitchen, and Salem wishes Sabrina good luck with her bake sale while he runs out the door. I would not want to lick a boning knife. Sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, no. Sabrina writes a letter to her mother and folds it into a paper airplane, then magically sends it to her mother in Peru, where it arrives at the dig site. Just then, Quizmaster appears in Sabrina's room. Sabrina is not allowed to send her mother letters until she gets her witch's license. We're just adding on things now. Okay. The Witches' Council read her letter, and they are furious. They handed down a decree, and he zaps it into his hand. Because she broke the rules, she has to choose between being a witch and seeing her mom ever again.
Quick cauldron watch. There are 2 pairs of scissors in this cauldron, and we now have included highlighters amongst the pens.
I did notice the cauldron this time. It was like right in your face. It's really hard not to notice it. Sabrina yells about how unfair this is. No one ever told her she couldn't write to her mother. Quizmaster points out where it's written in her magic book, but Sabrina rips out that page. She has 12 hours to choose between her mom and her magic. She got like a week and a half to choose between the aunts, and this seems like a bigger decision.
It also feels like it's maybe 24 hours based on time of day when she sends this and then when we reach our conclusion. But
yeah, because it's okay, let's be generous. It's still light outside. It's May. Well, it'd be like 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And 12 hours would be first thing in the morning.
Did not have this resolution first thing in the morning.
Nope. He zaps away, and Sabrina yells about how she already has to choose between boyfriends. Zelda and Hilda are in their mom's house, Zelda looking at pictures of herself, and Hilda looking at Zelda's trophies. Hilda is upset by all of Zelda's accolades that are displayed, but Zelda is sure there must be something there of Hilda's. She trips over an orange hat, Hilda's hat that their mom borrowed over 100 years ago and never returned. Sabrina is trying to call Hilda and Zelda on a crystal ball, but they are unreachable. The next day at school, Harvey asks Sabrina to choose again. She asks if he's chosen a gift for his mom yet, but he hasn't. She quietly casts a spell to conjure up the ideal gift for his mom to get his mind off of making her choose between him and Dashiell. She opens her locker to find a Heidi and Goats figurine. Harvey's mom has wanted it for years, but they stopped making them. He is extremely excited and kisses Sabrina on the cheek. Sabrina sadly walks down the hallway alone when Dashiell shows up with a bunch of carrots. He bought her a pony.
Named Petey.
Now what's her decision? She's thinking nunnery. She keeps walking and runs into Quizmaster, who tells her time is ticking away. She zaps him away, but his disembodied voice still yells, tick-tock, tick-tock. Salem's mom is making him a salmon lunch, and Sabrina arrives back home offering the carrots. This is definitely more than 12 hours. Quizmaster says, tick-tock again. Salem can't believe he lived all those years without contact with his mom. His heart is floating. Sabrina stomps off to think. Salem's mom starts sneezing as she pets him. Sabrina flops onto her bed and wonders what she's going to do. She thinks about watching Salem with his mom, then remembers being a young child with her mother. She misses her mom, but she loves having magic, and we get a montage of some of the magic she has done over the past 2 years. She knows what she has to do. Mrs. Saberhagen is sneezing more as she sits with Salem. She hasn't sneezed this much since 200 years ago when his father brought home a stray cat. They both realize what this means, and Salem cries, "No!" Sabrina calls for her Quizmaster. She's made her decision. She loves being a witch, but she can't live without seeing her mother. He asks if she's sure she knows what that means, but she's made up her mind.
You won't even be able to do card tricks.
He holds open a bag, and the magic drains out of her finger into it. So for those who do magic other ways, like would Dashiell's like drain out of his head because he rubs his head?
I don't think so, because I'm still believing that Dashiell was just told to rub his head because his uncle's weird.
Do you notice though that Dashiell has different colors when he does magic? Like his is like green and like spiky.
Ooh, I did not notice that.
There's like different colors for all of them. She sits tiredly on the bed. She feels insecure and nervous and depressed.
Are you okay? I've seen more color in plain yogurt, asks Quizmaster.
He also says the transformation is complete. She's a normal teenager again. Sabrina asks him to zap her to her mom. He snaps his fingers and she appears at the dig site in Peru. Sabrina's mom spots her and runs over for a hug. She doesn't understand why she's not a ball of wax. Sabrina admits it's because she's not a witch anymore. Sabrina asks if there's somewhere they can talk because it's a long story. She specifically asks if there's a dunghill somewhere that they can talk. Zelda is still searching for something of Hilda's in their mom's house, while Hilda sits at the dining table. Just then, Hilda spots a stain on the carpet where she spilled ink.
That's right, Mother had just made friends with Rorschach, says Zelda. Now, Hilda says she spilled the ink when she was young. However, Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst Hermann Rorschach lived from 1884 to 1922. Continuity of the aunt's ages has flown out the window once again. I think we had a good run of things being consistent, and now it's gone.
Yeah, I was like, maybe it wasn't when she was a kid, but she definitely says.
When I was young.
Well, I mean, young could be relative.
400? When I was a young 400.
But then Zelda spots a little clay horse. It's the first thing little Hilda ever zapped. But it's like under stuff or like in a bag or something. It's like not on a place of prominence.
And then Zelda asks, why does it look pained? And Hilda's like, because I gave it corrective shoes.
Their mother must have kept it all these years because it meant so much to her. She didn't keep anything like that of Zelda's. Maybe she does like Hilda better. The phone rings and Zelda answers it. It's their mother, and Zelda asks where she's been. When she hangs up the phone, Hilda asks what she said. Their mother is with Vesta. They went shopping. Vesta bought her new ears and now is taking her to the Riviera to show them off. Hilda and Zelda agree that it solves the mystery. Their mother's favorite daughter is Vesta.
Where did she get off living so long? Asks Hilda.
Is Vesta the oldest?
Maybe.
I think we've discussed this before. Also, where's Ted in all of this?
Living his best life in a magic book between the pages.
Like, there's another sibling in this story that's not being mentioned. Also, given what they're saying about their mother, I have a feeling she's a boy mom that would be like, my son is the best and can do no wrong ever.
Yeah.
Sabrina and her mother are sitting around a campfire eating dinner.
Beetle puree.
Sabrina asks her mom if she regrets not staying a teacher and living more comfortably. Her mom says no choice is perfect. There are always good parts and bad parts, which was like kind of poignant for a teen sitcom. Sabrina understands. She gave up magic, but she got her mom, but she still has to choose between Harvey and Dashiell. Her mom tells her to follow her heart, which is terrible advice to give to a teenager because it's gonna change the next day.
Maybe her mom was a really big fan of Listen to Your Heart, which came out in 1988.
Is that what you were doing?
Yes, that was my pause there. Because it got stuck in my head when you said follow your heart. I had to complete that journey in my head.
The next morning, Sabrina is leaving the campsite on a donkey.
Not very long visit with Mom there.
I know, especially for all she went through to get there.
As Sabrina is leaving on said donkey, she says, you might want to call my aunts and tell them I'll be a little late.
Zelda is back at home, comforting and crying Salem, who just got off the phone with his mom. She saw a doctor so she can get allergy treatments. Is there not a magical remedy for this? Why are we doing allergy shots? Okay. Zelda is sorry that he only got to see his mother for a short time.
Then he says, she's my mother. A short time is plenty. Which is a complete 180 of how he's been. Plus, he was just crying that his mother was willing to get stabbed for him.
I mean, we all love our mothers deeply and enjoy the time that we're with them. Most of us love our mothers and enjoy the time that we're with them. But I also never want to live with my mother ever again. Maybe I'm speaking just for myself. I don't know. I lived with my parents for a short time as an adult, and it was definitely enough. Hilda comes in with a dirty and disheveled Sabrina, who tells them about how she got home from Peru. Quizmaster pops in and asks how her trip to Peru was. She asks why he's there, and he prefaces it by saying he knows she's going to get mad at him, but this whole thing was a test. Sabrina yells at him and tries to kick him, but her clothes are too encrusted with dirt. Quizmaster says one of the most, if not the most important tests before getting your witch's license is to show that there is something in the universe that means more to her than magic. Zelda and Hilda are proud that she chose her mother. They were in on it and had to leave her alone so that she could take the test by herself.
Although why we couldn't go to Acapulco still baffles me, says Hilda.
Sabrina says it couldn't be her test. Her powers are really out. Quizmaster just took away her powers so she could visit her mom. Now that she's back, her magic can be restored. He opens up the bag and Sabrina's magic returns to her. She immediately zaps Quizmaster away. And then Quizmaster appears in the back of a truck with chickens. Zelda and Hilda ask Sabrina who she's going to choose between Harvey and Dashiell. Sabrina is going to follow her heart, but she doesn't know and she has time to decide.
Fun little suitor to put on the Hilda's dating timeline because she says, that's how I ended up sharing a studio apartment with Vlad the Impaler. Or
That
Choice in
timeline doesn't make
Men.
sense.
And the timeline.
I don't even think that timeline makes sense. When was Vlad the Impaler around? Because we established they were born in like the late 1400s.
Mm-hmm.
Vlad the Impaler was before that.
Correct.
So that doesn't even make sense. Unless he is also magical.
Is he
and is
a
also
vampire?
Immortal. Maybe he's a vampire. Maybe he's an actual vampire.
Do we get vampires? I guess it could be like the very end of his life because late.
And she's
14.
an infant?
He was assassinated in November of 1447.
Wait, are they 500 or 600 years old?
I thought they were 500.
Yeah, then that still doesn't make sense because I'd be putting them like the late 1400s. Quizmaster's disembodied voice again says TikTok. In our end tag, Sabrina is listing off all the things she likes about Harvey and Dashiell to Salem. She doesn't know how she's going to decide. Salem, with a clothespin on his nose, says she smells and needs to at least run a bath while she talks. Sabrina doesn't think it's her, and we see the donkey from Peru in her bedroom.
Our very last line of this season comes from Salem when he says, good grief, man, be civilized. Some of us use a box.
And that is season 2. Well, the next Sabrina episode we're going to do, which will not be the next podcast episode, season 3, episode 1, it's a mad season opener. What do you think it's going to be about, Sky?
So it has season opener in the title itself?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Okay.
They got lazy?
I guess so. I'm going to start coming up with what these episodes should have been named.
That'll be your end of the episode thought? Okay.
Like, remember how I used to rename the fireworks back when we lit fireworks? I'm gonna do that. Well, it's going to be a crazy mad episode. So it's going to be mad as far as being crazy. It's going to be mad as far as hurting teenage boys' feelings. It's going to be so wild and crazy, and they're saying mad so many times that they're going to have to include Mad World by Tears for Fears. And if we don't get the actual song, I will riot.
Apparently, this episode title alludes to the 1963 movie, It's a Mad World. I've never heard of that movie before.
Just saying, it could have referred instead to a 1982 song, Mad World.
Yeah. Well, join us next week, not for season 3, episode 1, but for our season recap, I think will be the next thing that comes out after this. Or just wait until January and tune in for season 3 if you want to skip all of this next stuff.
But aren't we doing Sabrina Goes to Rome before season 3?
We are doing Sabrina Goes to Rome. So join us for Sabrina Goes to Rome. Let's do that. So what do you think Sabrina Goes to Rome is going to be about, Sky?
Sabrina Goes to Rome. Ooh, is this where we finally meet the Greek goddesses and gods? Because we've alluded to that they exist. Roman gods, Greek gods, like, bring it on. Pew pew.
I know I watched this movie once. I don't remember anything about it, so we are both going in blind to this one.
So no, I don't get to see a pantheon or two as a treat.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I literally don't remember anything about it. No idea. In the meantime, please like, share, rate, and subscribe to this podcast. You can email us at somethingwitchypod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at somethingwitchypod and TikTok at something.witchy.pod. Until next time,
Stay meowgical.